So we are almost in Season 4 and I hope we get a bunch of cool stuff with the new season, but today I want to talk about a few things which I'm still in disbelief that we do not have them in Fortnite Creative yet. Tell me which one you think should be in the game by now, and let's have my top 5 list. Number 1 is really something that I still cannot believe, and that is that we only have 3 fonts in the billboard. That is something that baffles me. Creative has so many options for so many things. We have tons of colors, tons of different settings, 500 channels by now, and we only have 3 fonts in the billboard. The billboard in itself is really an old and ancient device which is really should be getting upgraded at some point hopefully, but that we only got 3 fonts in like the beginning of since Creative is out, right? These 3 fonts have been there since the beginning. The device got released a really long time ago. Definitely one of the most confusing things on this list. Even on the day where we got the update to the billboard where we got like outlines and like different text sizes and stuff like that, we still only have 3 fonts. It really is confusing. Number 2 on the list is something that you guys said so many times in my comments, especially in the blood videos and basically in every video. That we do not have an option to transmit a signal when a player gets damaged. Yes, we do not have that. We have when a player gets killed. We have when a prop gets damaged, but we do not have when a player or even an NPC gets damaged. It is really confusing. It is one of the most requested options that I saw in my comments over the years, and it would be so cool. It would be helpful for all kinds of things. For example, having gold drop if you hit someone, or having blood tries, even though I think that might be something that is against this. You could, for example, create a full tag game where you do not have to kill someone to actually send out a signal. You can just tag someone, which is really helpful in some cases. But to this day, we have not seen it yet. And I really hope that with Season 4, we're gonna get this option finally. And I think it would be a perfect fit in the team settings, the inventory manager, so easy to put in. But to this day, we're still looking for it. Number 3 on the list is that we still, to this day, do not have an option to look for props. This is the most time-wasting thing in Fortnite Creative. You can look up galleries, but not the props that are in there. How is this useful in any kind of way? Imagine you started out Fortnite Creative maybe half a year ago, and you finally get the hang of it, and you want to look for a chair. You obviously, since you just started half a year ago, do not know all the galleries yet and do not know which galleries have the chair that you're looking for. You could go to a third-party website, which is sometimes not functioning that well. It's still like a fan-made thing, so it's not really official by Epic. And it just wastes time. It just takes so long. It takes way too long to find a specific prop that you're looking for. And even if the gallery is named after that prop, which there's not too many galleries that are actually named after the things that we have, you still have to have a huge knowledge where everything is, which I think most people do not have these days, because if they just started out, they didn't just learn every gallery like we did very step by step by just having the galleries in from the game starts. And I can remember back in the days when I first started Creative and I had to learn all these galleries. It was so annoying, and I really gave up multiple times because I could not find something and I was so frustrated. Obviously an honorable mention is that we still do not have publishing rights, but I gave up on that. I don't include this in these lists anymore. It's you know, I gave up. I think we never get it, and I have no idea. I don't know why or how that is even a thing, but yeah, it's an honorable mention. I do not include it in this list, and I'm sick and tired of talking about it, but yeah, we still do not have publishing rights. Number 4 on the list is something that we technically have 2 times, like we technically have 2 versions of it, but it's not officially in the game. And this one is the first person mode. We have it in Creative, like we can use it if we're building, and we also have it in Creative when we are playing, but you have to use a helipad to do that. Yeah, you have to use a specific prop to make first person mode in Fortnite Creative. Yeah, that sounds a little bit ridiculous, and it is. It is ridiculous, but to this day, we do not have it. This is probably the one that I can understand the most, and I can relate the most to why we're not having it. I think the reason is because BR doesn't have it yet. Maybe there's something coming up where first person mode comes to BR, and maybe they're waiting for that. Kind of like the same thing as with the climbing and mantling came out in the seasons. Same kind of thing with the climbing and mantling. I think that could be easily integrated into Fortnite Creative before, but they just waited until it came out in VR. So maybe if we get first person in VR, we also get it in Creative. But to this day, we have to use helipads. Yeah, that is just... And number 5 is something that we have in the game again, but do not really have. And it's so overcomplicated that I count it as we do not have it. And it is uploading custom images. Yes, we can do that. We can have a map that we publish, then submit it to Discovery, submit an image for that map, and then use that map in a different map to get a custom image. Does that sound complicated? Well, yeah, it is complicated. It is way too complicated to count it as an actual in-game feature that we can have custom images, because sometimes the images got denied even though they're just perfectly fine and they're like just custom-made stuff, but the map doesn't work, so they cannot accept the image. Yeah, that seems like nonsense. It is nonsense. Since people are already doing that for years and years, using the system to create custom images, why not just add an image uploader? Like, you can have like only creators do that, as like basically everything is already in Fortnite Creative, and you can kind of use the same system that detects like nudity or whatever, like not wished thumbnails in the maps. So I don't know why we don't have that yet. I think that's one of those things which is just time wasting and just kind of unnecessary, that we have to use these steps instead of just giving us an option to upload custom images to an image device maybe, or something like that, which I understand. Yes, it takes a lot of like resources to get that in the first place, but people do that anyways. People upload custom images, so actually allow custom images in instead of having it to do with a map. And this wraps up my nonsense list for Season 3. Hopefully in Season 4 we get one of these things at least. I mean, this season we finally got the melee manager, which was one of the things which I thought was never going to happen. So maybe one of the things which I just mentioned is going to happen. Tell me what you think should be in the game, but it's not. Also, I will be streaming the Season 4 start as usual on my Twitch channel. So we're going to check out the new stuff that is in creative. Usually with the new season there's not too much in creative. They focus more on BR. But we're still streaming and see what is new and play around with it a little bit. So with that being said, I'll see you guys back in the next one, and bye.